Monday morning, 6:30 a.m. Very good morning to you all. Looking a little bit moody, the skyline there. I'm guessing we may have a risk of showers later. Got to get into work. Therefore, looking to mix things up a little bit this morning. Training on the rollers just to give myself, well, something a little bit different to do, I guess. It's a big muscular endurance training session, courtesy of Back Pedal CC. 2 blocks of 20 minutes and 2 blocks of 25 minutes at varying powers in mid to upper zone 3. So it's going to be a tough one. There's only 1.5 minutes of recovery between blocks. And now on for the pre-ride nutrition, the amino acids and cold coffee. I'm already partially lined up. Cold coffee yet to go in. Nearly at the end of the work capacity, so just time. So going to do the training fasted, plenty of water in there, about a scoop of the amino work capacity to deliver basically the amino acids that's going to help prevent muscle breakdown during the training. Also, a little bit of cold coffee is going to go in there as well, probably about 120 milligrams of caffeine in total. There you go, I'm almost an amino acid barista. Doesn't it look beautiful? Just going to mix it all up. More of a mixologist actually. There we go. Oh dear, spillage. You can see. The idea being, a lot of spillage. It's going to be a dribbler. The idea being that the amino acids help prevent against the muscles breaking down during the training. The cold coffee gives you a little spike of adrenaline and cortisol, helps power you through the training, and therefore pretty much fasted here. There's, well, it's debatable, either 0 calories or very few calories here in the drink. And the combination of being fasted when you wake up, not eating, and just having this is going to keep the insulin low, the cortisol high, the adrenaline high because of the coffee and the exercise, and in turn that's going to help break down fat in order to help create the energy. Well, that's the hope anyway. Cheers. So for 20 minutes, it's 2 minutes at 245 watts, 2 minutes at 255 watts, 1 minute at 265. Repeat 4 times, 1.5 minutes recovery, then go again, but repeat 5 times. Then repeat all of that 1 more time. Feels good to be back on the rollers. And there's the pain cave. Oh wowee. That was tough. I personally always find it a little bit harder on the rollers than certainly I do outdoors on a Colnago or the Wilier or indoors on the watt bike. I'm not really quite sure what it is, whether it's the fact that you've got to really focus on the stabilization that bit more on the rollers or the resistance setting. But one way or another, it feels about 10, 15 watts harder on the rollers. Nonetheless, I had a good training. I did a block of 20 minutes, then a 25, then a 20. I was in a power range on the first block, just about in the power range on the second block, fell a little bit short on the third, and then I finished with just 10 minutes of zone 2. I couldn't do the fourth. I was all in, pretty pooped. But decent training overall, glad to have got it under the belt. You can see just about 1 hour 40 of training, average power 224, normalised 232. Burned off a lot of calories, quite a lot of TSS, but oh dearie me. Back to the 49-51 on the left-right balance. See if we can rectify that with a bit more work on the rollers. Anyway, time to carb up and get on with work. I present to you balmy August in the UK. Look at that coming in, looks ominous. We'll see how it develops. Well, it's almost worth all the rain to get some Technicolor rewards ×2. You can just make out the second one there. But when you need to build a bit more top end power, but also a little bit more mental fortitude, there's only one thing for it. That's tempo with 1 minute surges here at the velo circuit. The level of concern is high.
Tempo with surges was a go-to training over the winter, and I adore it. It's a massive bang for your buck cycle training, the equivalent of a deadlift in the gym, because it delivers fitness that is needed for a crit race or a Zwift race, taking part in a pace line, or going a bit harder on a steep gradients during a challenging climb. So here at the Olympic Velo Circuit, I was hitting the surge from the bottom of the little kicker and then all the way down the back straight to the top of the right hand bend. The power overlay is probably a few seconds too early. We struggled to get that perfect sync. As you can see from this sample from Strava, I managed to stay pretty consistent for the 14 laps. Each one took about 2 minutes 35 seconds, and the surges were all about 45 seconds in duration, averaging 400 watts.
So there you have it. 20 minutes of tempo, around about 240 watts, and that's my go-to kind of fast but sustainable pace. Then straight into 35 minutes, it turned out, of tempo with surges. The surges were a bit less than 60 seconds, I reckon around about 35 to 40 seconds, but I did 14 of them, 14 laps, rather than just the 10, so that was decent. And then into 20 minutes of zone 2, around about 210 to 215 watts. All of that was fasted. Now heading home for a little bit of breakfast and to crack on with work. Is there a better colour than blue? He's a boy. There we go, check it out. Well, I think any self-respecting cyclist should try and coordinate the bridges they cross with their jerseys and their bike. And whilst we're on the subject of colour coordination, it goes without saying that you should also seek to coordinate the exterior of your apartment with your jersey and your bike. Said no cyclist ever. Well, the eternal quest to develop strength through the upper torso continues, and I've built up to 3 sets of 5 reps with a strict chin up with 10 kilograms added. Still have a bit of work to do to keep the shoulder blades retracted and avoid the upper back kind of rounding a little bit at the top. Thank you to Found for pointing that out. And likewise, I built to 3 sets of 5 reps of 50 kilograms on the incline bench with a brief pause at the bottom. Well, that was set number 3, but the 4th and definitely the 5th rep were both, maybe so we say, a tad slower than I'd envisaged in my own mind's eye. And I'm pretty sure that the weighted dip I'm about to do here has also been contributing to some of the strength gains on the bench press. The dip is amazing, obviously, for working the triceps, a bit of the upper shoulders, the core, and the lower pectoral muscles. Here, aiming for 4 reps with 20 kilograms added. keeping the reps low at the moment to really focus on building the strength. Lower reps, heavier weight, best for building strength and stressing the nervous system. A lot of nervous system involvement when building strength. Found them hard. Now found suggested that in order to remedy the slightly rounding of the upper back on the way to chin up, I put into the program a few lat pull downs and really focus on keeping the scapula retracted throughout the movement. So here we go, aiming for about 5 reps. Really working hard there to keep the kind of chest up, back locked out, and really lock out the lats and the scapula for a hold of like 1, 2 at the bottom to really squeeze the muscles and focus on the mind muscle connection.